Welcome to the second weekly Song Suggestion Sunday. This time I hope it will be posted on a Sunday, where I bring you guys 5 new songs and tell you about the albums I listened to. So the first song I'm suggesting for you guys this week is the song Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. It's a classic metal song. I'd say it's very popular within metal and even within pop culture itself, so I figured this is a great song to recommend for you guys this week. So what makes this song so good? There's a very simple guitar riff that just gets you hooked right into the song. The lyrics are extremely catchy, it gets you just chanting along the lyrics. Through its appearance in The Simpsons and other forms of pop culture, this song is very well known. Another thing that makes this song great, along with that simple guitar riff, there's a thumping bass in the verses and just ever present in the background, just keeps the intensity going. And then normally I hate sound effects in songs and I think it ruins some of the songs, but in this case I think just including the sirens at the end during the climax of the song is the perfect choice, and that's why this song is my first suggestion for you this week. The second song I suggest for you guys this week is the song Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace. I'd say this is one of the better hard rock albums to come out during the 2000s, and this is probably one of the best songs on that album. So it's one of the songs that got me introduced to hard rock and metal, so for that reason, I'd say this is a good stepping stone for you guys as well. And it is a great song for a multitude of reasons. First of all, that bass intro just gets you prepared for the intensity of the song that will be present throughout, gets you, in a sense, prepared for the groove that will be felt in the song. The guitar tone throughout the entire song is phenomenal. It has the right crisp sound to it, and it's just heavy, and it gets you, as I said, it gets you just into the song. The rasp in the vocals is just, and this is true for any of Adam Gagnier's vocal performances, there's just the right amount of rasp in his vocals. The altering use of the hi-hat and toms in the verses, adding a little variety to the drums, just makes the song more interesting, and I like the shifts between the two. Then once the powerful chorus kicks in, you're fully present. It's just a great chorus. Very catchy lyrics, memorable. And then the breakdown at the end is just very good, and it sends you off on a high, heavy note, and it gets you prepared for the next. So that's my second song for you this week. The third song that I suggest for you guys this week is the song Wrong Side of Heaven by Five Finger Death Punch. Although Five Finger Death Punch got a lot of hate from the metal community for being, I guess, too radio friendly, I think that's what makes this song all the more better. It does have moments of high intensity to demonstrate the anger that is being felt through the lyrics and with the purpose of the song as well. Now, what makes this song so great? The lyrics are extremely provocative, especially when they're paired with the music video, which deals with the struggles that veterans must deal with after they return from war. It's very, as I said already, it's very provocative, it's a very emotional video. I highly recommend you check out the music video while listening to this song. Another thing that makes this song great, there's a roomy drum sound that gives it this sort of ballad feel, I guess, in the verses. After the verses, it shifts to this high, intense sounding chorus. And then once the calmer ballad sounding verses finish, it shifts to this high metal, intense sounding chorus with an angry tone, which gets the whole point of the lyrics across, how a veteran must be so confused even in the peaceful times and still feels angry and traumatized from those experiences at the war. So as I said, everything works so well together, the instrumentation with the lyrics. It's just a great all-around song. So that's my third song for you this week. And my fourth song for you this week is the song CMFT Must Be Stopped by Corey Taylor. While for the other song, Wrong Side of Heaven, my description was sort of depressing, I think this one should provide you with a more optimistic mood and better emotions, I'd say. The song was released this week, which is why I am including it in this week's Song Suggestion Sunday. And all in all, it's a great song. It has a lot of great elements to it. Now, what makes this song so great? Even though I labeled it nu metal, it sounds like older rock and metal mixed with a variety of rap. And I say a variety of rap because each 3 vocalists that appear on this song demonstrate a different form of rap. Corey Taylor appears first. He basically symbolizes the nu metal form of rap. especially with his involvement with Slipknot. So that's, I would say, the way I at least view that verse. Even the lyrics sound like typical Corey Taylor, Slipknot-esque lyrics. Then the middle, or the second one, by Tech Nine, sounds like modern rap to me. But in this scenario, I actually like it. It has a nice flow to it. It's very interesting. It's very high-paced. I'd say probably my favorite verse from this song. And then the last verse, to me, sounds like old school rap. That's kind of what that sounded like to me, and the flow on that was great as well. There's variety between the vocalists, which is why I appreciate the song. And then other things that I like, the guitar phrasings are nice, especially during the verses in combination with the risen hi-hat. The solo's great, and then the harmonies during the bridge and the outro are very, very melodic, very great hooks to get you interested in the song. So that's why this is my fourth song for you this week. And my fifth and last song for you this week that I recommend is the song To Rid the Disease by Opeth. I was talking a lot about Opeth last week, and I will probably do the same today. So therefore I wanted to recommend some Opeth for you guys to check out as well, because especially this song is something that I think most people could appreciate from their catalog. It is very good. Like last week, I would say I saved the best for last. So what makes this song so good, and why do I like it so much? There's this progression from the song that just builds up, both intensity wise and just through the levels of instrumentation. At the beginning you have this electric guitar as a very haunting sound, which is present throughout the rest of the song. Then it adds on vocals, some percussion elements, and it just builds throughout, even the verse. And then towards the chorus you have the introduction of acoustic guitar. So this song builds the entire time. Then you have some piano elements that come in, and as I said, the intensity builds throughout. You have at the beginning is just one instrument, then it's just a layering of many different instruments, and then send you off into the next song of the album, bring you to the closing stages of the album. It brings it to a high point immediately after that last chorus of the song, and then it just slowly builds out. So that's why I love this song, and why it's my fifth song for you that I recommend this week. And now I will talk about the albums that I listened to this week. So the first album I listened to this week was Damnation by Opeth. And this one is very, very different from the rest of Opeth's discography. Very simply because it's easily their calmest album, and it's their most peaceful album. It's very, very dark, like the rest of their catalog, but the entire album is made up of nothing but clean vocals, basically all the soft parts in some of their heavier songs. All the stuff that I said last week about Opeth's albums contrasting with the death metal style and then the normal progressive style. This one took all the death metal out of it, made it solely progressive, but in the sense that like their calm nature, it's still dark, it still has the essence of Opeth. Next one I listened to was Watershed by Opeth. It's not quite the same as Ghost Reveries, but it shares a lot of similar qualities. And it makes sense that this is a follow-up album to Ghost Reveries. And yeah, I'd say that this ranks among the top of their discography. So, like that one a lot. The Tide, the Thief, and River's End by Caligula's Horse was the next one I listened to. So when I listened to Rise Radiant, I wanted to check out the rest of their catalog. I listened to Moments from Emerald City, and I liked that album, but it wasn't quite, I would say, Caligula's Horse at their developed stage. But this one, I feel like they picked up on their style a bit, and it has basically the essence of some of Rise Radiant's songs mixed with Moments from Emerald City. Next one I listened to was Lost and Found by Mudvayne. I listened to Mudvayne a while back. I listened to The New Game by them, and I was impressed by their ability to mix the melody with some heavier moments. Therefore, I wanted to check out their earlier stuff, and their earlier stuff has that melody that was present in The New Game, and just adds a whole layer of heaviness to it. Excellent album. The one album I thought was slightly disappointing this week was Beneath the Remains by Sepultura. Don't get me wrong, the riffage in this album is great, and it has several moments that are superb. But all in all, when I listen to stuff in the style of death and thrash metal, and especially when comparing it to Quadra, which was I'd probably say it's a drumming masterpiece. This one didn't quite have that. It just had primarily hi-hat and snare variation, which I mean is present in a lot of thrash metal, but when I'm comparing it to Quadra. It didn't quite have that technicality in it that's very present in death metal and thrash metal, so didn't quite do it for me. But all in all, I'd still say it's definitely not a bad album, just it felt lacking at times with the drumming ability. Finally, the last album I listened to was The Last Stand by Sabaton. People say Sabaton is taking the torch from bands like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and they'll be the new heavy metal headliners. And I agree. This album demonstrates why they are so very popular in Europe, with their war lyrics, which are present in all other albums. And yeah, just great instrumentation. As far as synthesizers go, I'd say that this one's their best album. It has so many memorable songs like The Last Stand, Lost Battalion, Rourke's Drift, Last Dying Breath, Sparta. This album is full of great hits, and even those of you that don't listen to metal, I think you would be very interested in this album, especially if you are a history enthusiast at all. This album is perfect for you to check out. The lyrics deal with the famous last stands in history, so definitely check out this album. And that basically wraps up this week's music recommendations and stuff that I listen to. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for watching, and see you next week.